That's it. I'm at the end of my rope. I want a divorce. You aren't fit to be my wife. I'm bringing divorce papers home, so you better be ready to sign them.
What's wrong all of a sudden? Where did divorce come from? What's this about?
It's not all of a sudden. I've been thinking about this for a while. You can't even give me a child. What's the point of you? I should have found a real woman to marry a long time ago.
How could you say something so cruel? Am I not even a woman if I can't give birth?
We've been married for 5 years already. All my friends' kids are starting elementary school soon. I'm sick of hearing about them. Just today, the whole office was celebrating my coworker's wife giving birth. But how long have we been trying? When are you gonna give me a kid already?
It's not like I don't want a kid too. I've wanted one as long as you have. I know you're in a rush. I am too. So let's just keep trying. There'll be little feet running around our house soon enough, so be patient. Don't take your frustration out on me. We just gotta have hope and keep trying.
How long do you expect me to wait? It's getting clearer by the day. I don't think we'll ever have a kid. And I'm pretty sure it's because of you. Your ovaries must be defective or something. I'm sure my little swimmers aren't the problem.
How could you say that? Don't call them defective. They're a part of my body. I'm not a machine.
Well, how would you put it? If they're not defective, what are they? I know one thing. They aren't working, that's for sure. Which is why I finally realized I really don't need a wife like you. So hurry up and sign the divorce papers. And get out of my sight already.
Wait a minute, Robert. I know you're getting impatient about becoming a father, but don't you think you've gone a little too far? Calling my body defective? Don't you think it's been tough for me too? I've wanted a kid as much as you have.
I should have listened to my mom. She told me there must be something wrong with you. Not giving me a kid after 5 years. You must be damaged goods.
Can you please not be so easily influenced by what your mom says? The doctor said there was nothing wrong with my body. I think he knows a lot more than your mom.
If that's the case, how have you not been able to have a kid in the last 5 years? I'm the one suffering here. My parents have been waiting for a grandkid for a really long time, you know. You know how embarrassing it is for me to not be able to give them one? It's because of you. You're the one letting them down. Them and me both.
Calm down, Robert. This is just how it is sometimes when trying to have a kid. No one can control these things. We're not the only ones struggling. There have been a lot of people who have taken even longer than 5 years to have a kid. And there are so many things you can do these days to help. Haven't I already suggested going to a fertility clinic? If you're in such a rush? You're the one who turned down that idea.
Of course I did. I don't want some test tube freak of a baby. They probably don't even work. It's all a scam by the medical industry to take our money. My mom even said the same thing. Even if a kid does somehow come out of a place like that, it's not going to turn out any good.
Oh, not this again.
I'll never agree to any of that nonsense. Besides, if I just had a decent wife with a functioning reproductive system, we wouldn't be talking about this in the first place.
Enough with that. It isn't some kind of conspiracy like you and your mom seem to think. I'm begging you. Can we at least give it a chance? Or at least go for a consultation so they can explain what it actually is to you? The doctor even said he'll answer any questions we might have about all of the different ways modern medicine can help us. So can you stop just believing your mom's baseless opinions?
Are you kidding me? What kind of man would be caught dead in a place like that? Are you trying to humiliate me? Was disappointing me not enough?
Just give it a chance. Couples go in for consultations together all the time. It isn't unusual.
Enough already. I've already decided to divorce you. A defective wife who can't even get pregnant is of no use to anybody. So get out of my life already, you worthless excuse for a wife.
Mrs. Williams! I am so sorry about everything. I never thought I'd end up stealing Robert from his wife like this. But please don't worry. I'll be sure to make him a happy man. I'll give him the kid he's always wanted. So please don't worry about him.
I'm sorry, but who is this?
Oh, that's right. I haven't introduced myself. How could I be so rude? I am a subordinate of Robert's at his company. And soon, I'll be the mother of his child. As soon as his divorce from you is finalized, I'll be his second and last wife.
Did you say you were pregnant? With Robert's kid? And now you're planning on getting married. Slow down, please. What's going on? Are you saying the two of you have been having an affair behind my back?
What's this? Robert never mentioned us or our baby to you when he asked you for a divorce? He just messaged me to tell me he was finally free from you. So I guess I just assumed he filled you in on the details.
Yes. He told me he wants a divorce. But I never heard anything about you. He told me he was sick of waiting around for me to get pregnant. So he wanted a divorce. I never imagined he actually had another partner already. Who was already pregnant, too.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's always complaining about his miserable marriage at work. So I guess I went and ended it. Sorry about that. But even I didn't expect it to work out so well for us.
What do you mean, work out well for you? And why are you even messaging me?
The truth is, I've been after your husband for a while now. He seems like such a reliable and caring man. So I decided, if I'm gonna get married, it's gonna be him.
What are you talking about? You decided you were gonna marry him? You know you're talking to his wife right now. Were you actively trying to steal someone's husband? What's wrong with you?
But he was always going on about how unhappy his marriage was.
Was he really? What was he saying?
Oh, just about how he's wanted a kid for so long, but his wife can't give him one. Oh, and about how his wife can't even manage to get along with his mom. So he said, because of all of that, it was a pretty lonely marriage towards the end. When I heard that, can you really blame me for seeing him as an option?
I can't believe it. He was talking about such private things with not only colleagues, but with his subordinates.
Well, it seems like he really, really wanted kids. He couldn't keep it to himself. Poor guy. So when I offered to give him one instead of you, he was over the moon. And when I told him I managed to get pregnant so easily, he said he'd leave his wife for me immediately.
This is all too much. Let me just check. Are you saying you're really pregnant with that man's child? Are you sure? Isn't there a chance the baby is someone else's?
That's not possible. I'm serious about Robert. There is no one else in my life. And soon, he'll be saying the same about me.
I see how it is. I get it now. So you're saying there's no doubt you're pregnant with my husband's child. You want me to divorce Robert as soon as possible, so you can marry him.
That's right. I'm so glad you're catching on. So please hurry up and sign those papers. There's no use putting it off. It's not like he's gonna change his mind and stay with some old woman who can't even get pregnant.
You've aged pretty badly, haven't you? It's been just 3 years since I left you. What happened? You must have had it rough without me. Excuse me? Why are you suddenly contacting me?
Just to tell me that?
I happened to see you at the mall today. I saw some old woman with a huge stomach walking around, and I thought it looked like you. Well, it was either you or a whale who escaped from SeaWorld. When I got a closer look, I couldn't believe it was actually you. How did you manage to put on so much weight? Aren't you ashamed buying more food looking like that? Ha!
You were at the mall earlier? I didn't notice you at all.
Yeah, I was. With my beloved wife, Barbara. And then, right before our eyes, we see the pitiful old woman I threw away a few years ago. Just waddling around like a penguin. We couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, so you're still with that subordinate of yours?
Yeah, I am. But back to the point. How did you manage to fit that much food inside you? It was so pathetic. Don't think we didn't see. You couldn't even walk down the stairs without getting some random guy to hold your hand and help you down. You're pathetic. Aren't you embarrassed bothering strangers with your obesity problem?
Excuse me?
Unlike you, Barbara has kept in shape even after getting married. A man really couldn't ask for a better wife. And now, with a wife like her, I'm finally getting along with my mom again. And all of my friends are pretty jealous of my hot young wife. Divorcing you was the best decision of my life.
What are you talking about? Why are you so proud of yourself? She just looks like a gold digger to me. Besides, why are you even messaging me now, after all these years? Don't you remember how horrible you were during the divorce? You didn't show a hint of remorse throughout the whole thing. Just laughing it up, despite all the years we'd been together.
Hey, are you still mad about that? You should be glad I didn't drag you through the dirt. You know what kind of lawyers I can afford.
However much you pay, you still openly cheated on me. I don't think any judge would be on your side. We were married for over 5 years, and you treated me like that at the end. I've been perfectly happy these last 3 years. I really don't need to ever hear from you again. I really thought I was over all of this, but you sure do know how to make my blood boil.
Oh, so what are you gonna do? Are you gonna eat your feelings away today too? Are you just using this as an excuse to binge eat out of stress? I've seen people like you on TV. That's how you got into that state in the first place, right? You should be more careful.
Why would I binge eat? I don't understand why you keep accusing me of overeating.
I saw you, remember? There's no use trying to lie. I saw how much you've ballooned up. I thought you'd fall off after the divorce, but even I never expected you to get into such a state. Let me at least give you some advice. If you don't do something about that body, you'll never get another husband. My wife is pregnant, I'll have you know. What? Your wife? Pregnant? What are you talking about? Who is this? I'm Ben, the husband. Yes, she's pregnant. I've seen the messages you've been sending my wife. I really can't believe someone like you exists, let alone you were once married to her. Do you just ramble on about needing to lose weight anytime you see a pregnant person? I've never seen someone so tasteless. That maybe tasteless isn't the right word. I guess you're just genuinely that stupid. Making fun of a pregnant woman, calling her a fat whale. But why would I expect anything less from a worthless guy like you, who just cheats on his wife of over 5 years and leaves her in a heartbeat? Hang on a minute. What do you mean by your wife? What are you talking about? On top of having no common sense or character, you're also an idiot, aren't you? It's a pleasure to meet you anyway. My name is Ben. I'm Mary's husband. I saw my wife was being harassed by her ex-husband, so I ended up taking her phone. If you have something to say, please say it to me. Don't lie to me. What are you talking about, Mary? I know you never got married. I never heard anything about that. Why would you have heard anything? You're just her ex-husband. After leaving her in such a horrible way, and for such a horrible reason, you expect updates on her life. Who do you think you are? Who do I think I am? I'm her ex-husband. And I'm her actual husband. Who cares if you're her ex-husband? You have nothing to do with her anymore. Why would you expect to get any updates on her life? It's not even like you ended on good terms. You cheated on her and left her for your subordinate half your age. So can you please leave us alone now? You can't talk to me like that. I've heard all about you from Mary. You wouldn't even go along with any fertility treatment, and just cheated on her and left. Again with the fertility treatment. Pregnancy is a natural thing. We shouldn't need all of that crap. I can't believe someone like you is actually bringing up kids. I can't help but feel sorry for them. It doesn't seem like you've changed at all since then. What on earth are you going to teach any kids you have? That cheating on your wife is an acceptable thing to do. And then mocking and making fun of her years later is also perfectly fine. Shut up! How dare you judge me? You don't know anything about me. Yeah, of course I don't. I'm not going to pretend to understand how some piece of trash excuse for a man like you thinks. What did you say? Since my wife's pregnant, I think even you should be able to understand it's a pretty sensitive time for us. So I don't really care what your reasons are. Just do us a favor and don't message her again. That's all from me. So goodbye.
Mary, are you really having a kid? I heard you're remarried? And you're pregnant with your new husband's child? Is it true? Well, yeah, that's true. But what do you want? It can't be. So that must mean that you were never the infertile one, right? What am I gonna do? This must mean that there's a chance Robert is the one with the problem. I'm so confused. Listen, I don't really know what you're trying to say or why you're telling me this. What I'm saying is, there's a good chance that Robert's the one who couldn't have kids. I never would have thought you'd go and get pregnant after leaving him. How could you? What am I supposed to do now? I really have no idea what you're trying to say. But there can't be anything wrong with Robert, right? Didn't you have his kid a few years ago? Have you forgotten already? What happened to that kid? Haven't you been raising it? Well, that's a funny story, actually. The truth is, I wasn't actually pregnant back then. You weren't? I just wanted Robert to hurry up and marry me. So I lied about being pregnant to speed up the process. I thought it would be fine, since I'd get pregnant sooner or later anyway. And even if it took a few weeks, I could just say the baby was late. He said getting pregnant was a piece of cake. Are you for real? But ever since we got married, I haven't been able to get pregnant at all. I pretended to have a miscarriage a few years ago, and everyone believed me, so I thought it was all fine. You can't be serious. Weren't you so proud of yourself back then? For giving him a baby so easily? Are you telling me all of that was a lie? It's like I said. I thought it would be a walk in the park to actually get pregnant. I didn't think lying about it happening a little earlier would be such a problem. I'm still so young. It shouldn't have been this hard. But still, for some reason, it just hasn't happened. So you lied about having a miscarriage to cover all of that up? And how did that go? Well, everyone believed me. All I had to do was cry a lot and it went pretty well. And I could tell him and his mom that I just wasn't ready yet because of the miscarriage. That worked pretty well too for a while. And the last 3 years, I've gotten by with random excuses. But it's been so long now. Everyone's starting to wonder what's wrong.
Well, that's not a surprise, with how badly him and his mom wanted a kid.
It really doesn't look like we'll be able to have one. But he's so sure we can. He said since I got pregnant once before, it shouldn't be a problem to do it again. It really can't be. I don't want to believe it, but it can't be that he's actually the infertile one, right? I really don't want to accuse him of that if it isn't 100% the case. You must know something I don't. Help me!
I'm sorry, but I don't really have any more information than you do. When we were having problems, I asked him if we could go to a fertility clinic and have both of our respective parts checked out. But he refused. So you're on your own here. Figure it out yourself.
Are you saying I'm gonna have to convince him to come to a fertility clinic?
I'm not saying anything. This is none of my business. Frankly speaking, I could not care less if he's infertile or not. It's really none of my business. So please don't message me anymore. Goodbye. Mary, you won't believe it. It turns out there's something up with my body. I can't have kids. What? You actually got checked out? That's quite a surprise. You were so against going to see a doctor about this when we were together. Barbara refused to try for a kid again until I got checked out, so I had no choice. I never imagined this would be the result. Oh, so I guess what this means is the 5 years we were trying, you were the one wasting my time, not the other way around. There was nothing wrong with me after all. You and your mom were picking on me for not being able to give you a kid when it was actually you who was the problem the whole time. What a surprise! But wait a minute. Didn't your beloved new wife say she was pregnant with your kid once already? You won't believe this. She said that was actually a lie. She was never actually pregnant. She just lied to get me to marry her. She said she thought it'd be fine since she could just actually get pregnant right away. Yeah, I know. I heard from her already. Didn't she lie about having a miscarriage too? To keep the original lie hidden? I was scammed. This is just fraud. There's no other word for it. When I heard about the miscarriage, I was really genuinely upset. She convinced me my own kid died. She convinced me she was so badly affected by it too. I was really patient with her for 3 years, waiting for her to feel well enough to try again. But it was a lie all along. There was no miscarriage. Sorry all of this is happening to you, but do you mind venting to someone else? I couldn't really care less, to be honest. This has nothing to do with me. What? Have you no sympathy? You know, the two of us wound up getting divorced because of all of her lies. I guess you could look at it that way. But I'm way happier now than I ever was with you. So, all's well that ends well, I guess. I don't think lying about a miscarriage is okay, of course. Under any circumstance. That's obviously terrible. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you cheated on me with your subordinate. How could you be so cold? Anyway, I don't really have anything else to say to you, so goodbye. Don't come to me with your marriage problems. Wait, don't block me. There's a reason I got back in touch with you. Please give me another chance. Let's get married again. You're kidding, right? I don't want to be with that compulsive liar anymore. I'm gonna divorce her as soon as I can. But I can't even have kids. How am I gonna find a new wife at my age? But you'll come back to me, won't you? We were pretty happy together, right? You're not gonna abandon me at a time like this, are you? What are you talking about? Will you get a hold of yourself? You know, I've already married again. And I'm having a child of my own now. I don't have time for this. Let's raise that kid together. As ours. I'll treat it like my own flesh and blood.
How dare you suggest such a thing? You pathetic loser. Don't you dare talk about my child. It has nothing to do with you, and it never will.
Calm down. At least think about it. I have a pretty good job, right? You know how much I make. Think about the kid's future. I could give you both a much better life than he ever could. And on top of that, my family lives pretty nearby, so my mom can even help out with babysitting. I don't even mind you going back to work. Think about it. It'll be tough raising a kid, especially at the beginning, if you both need to work.
We're not worried about any of that, thank you very much. We've already hired a babysitter, so we can both start working again a few months after the baby's born. And my husband has paternity leave too, so we're really not worried. He'll have a whole month off to help out. So I'll have plenty of time to rest after giving birth.
That can't be. There's no way a guy is willing to take on baby duty for a whole month.
Not every man is like you. Also, both of our parents have told us they're more than happy to help out with anything we need from them. Be it money or babysitting or anything at all. What more could we possibly want? There's nothing you can offer that we don't already have. Why on earth would I throw any of this away for some old loser who cheated on me?
You're really not gonna give me another chance? Who's gonna help me fulfill my dream of having a kid of my own?
Why not go ask that wife you were so proud of a while ago? I have an idea for you. Ask her to try with a guy her own age, and you can raise that baby as your own flesh and blood.
How dare you make fun of me at a time like this?
Well, that's the only idea I have, so don't message me anymore. I'm blocking you now, so this is it. Goodbye forever. After all of that, I deleted all of our conversations from my phone, and I blocked him on every app. My husband even suggested getting a new phone number just in case he keeps trying to contact me. So I got a new phone and a new number. This phone's gonna be full of pictures of our baby pretty soon. It seems like Robert divorced his second wife soon after all of this, too. I heard his wife demanded the divorce. She said she doesn't want anything to do with the guy who can't even give her a kid. It's pretty ironic, isn't it? Also, it seems like she had quite a bad spending habit and used up a lot of their savings while they were married. Their divorce doesn't seem to be going too smoothly, and I think it still hasn't been settled. I'm sure all the court and lawyer fees must be getting expensive. Word about all of this spread around his family pretty quick, and I heard his mom is really embarrassed. But none of that is really my concern anymore, and I really couldn't care any less. All that matters to me now is my new family. My baby will be born soon, and I really couldn't ask for anything more. Thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And feel free to comment.